Africa's mountains of the moon, or in the Grand Canyon? Where are we in the many lands of baseball? Is this Pittsburgh or the Ruhr? Are we at Hialeah or Longchamp, or at Epsom Downs? Or is this Coventry or Detroit or Turin? Advanced medical research, where indeed are we? The pace of Mexico is restless and far-reaching, and Mexico City is her nerve center. She evokes ancient times, the cultural heritage of Mexico's first inhabitants. And her voice is lifted in song to powers above, in praise of an ancient faith that took root on her soil. The motion picture camera captures a part of Mexico's creative mood. And television recaptures the memories of the people and the countryside, and the music of ranch and corral. For this is the Mexico that leaps across time, an urban Mexico. A Mexico where the supermarket coexists with the traditional marketplace. Where modern medicine keeps pace with the technological advance of industry and agriculture. Where the quest for better medicine for more people is a national policy, aided by advanced research and the most modern facilities in Mexico City's great medical center. And where social benefits are assisted by the spirit of chance that dwells in all men. Mexico's national lottery provides funds for medical research, public housing, education, and many other public programs. It is a game with high national purposes, and any number may play. Thousands are lucky, and thousands more enjoy the game, ever hopeful. At the National University of Mexico, the nation's art flourishes on buildings in frescoes brilliant with the soul of Mexico herself, vast and pluralistic. Art is long, while life is short. But what is more transient than fashion? A major industry based on the new abundance has taken root in Mexico. When tastes change, so will clothing. The Mexico of leisure time. This land that has known Aztec emperors pays tribute to the sport that is fit for kings in the Gala Hippodrome of the Americas in Mexico City. But men compete more fiercely than horses. In the wide, wide world, there are no fans like Mexican baseball fans. And yet today, as in thousands of yesterdays, the age of the conquistadores is memorialized in the great Cathedral of Mexico. A continuum in time, the ancient faith set in the dazzling architecture of newer times. From the city to the nation, the road binds Mexico's metropolis to her heartlands and hinterlands. To Cuernavaca came Cortez the Conqueror, who built himself a palace, a modest Xanadu. And countless others have followed from the world over to live amid the flowering splendor of the cool tropics. And they came to Acapulco and the Pacific when sailed the galleons to Manila. Gone are the conquistadores. Acapulco is now the port of call for luxury and the lucky vacationists. Worshippers of sun and strand make their pilgrimage here to bask among the many splendors of the life of leisure, the magic days when the workaday world is distant. Although the Roman emperors drank wine in scented baths, a highball in the swimming pool is about the ultimate for the pleasure lovers of today. Or you can economize one motorboat by skimming the waters on power skis. Go where you will in Mexico, the mood is multiple and varying. Guadalajara's church architecture is rarely equaled in all Christendom for its Baroque stateliness and dedicated artistry. Unforgettable is the portico of Santa Monica. And her lions in stone, and St. Christopher with the Christ child. Evocations in stone, evocations in living. Guadalajara's great market of today lies between the ancient Indian marketplace and the gleaming supermarket, a transition in color and activity. The theater al fresco is a modern setting of an ancient tradition on Mexican soil. The newest generation of all parades before us. Not far from the vaulted splendor of the story of the human race, as told in striking imagery and color by the immortal Orozco, from the fall of man to the coming of Christianity and to the troubled world in which we live. But there are newer modes of graphic expression, swiftly accomplished in tempo with the rush of our times. Alfredo Santos strikes the canvas with his particular feeling for the Mexican scene. To the traveler, the scene is ever-changing. He sees the open mountainscape of the great Sierras of Durango. And the lonely desert of Sonora, where men lead the simple and pastoral life, and where the sands bloom with color. And where the waters find their way down the mountainside at Horsetail Falls near Monterey. Then, just a few miles away, the prospect changes, and the works of men are near at hand, where Monterey's industry labors for the new and growing Mexico. Monterey, Mexico's great city of industry, forges the sinews of Mexico. A land of challenge, a scenery of majesty, but a landscape rugged and resistant to the works of men. A railroad is thrust across the fierce mountains of north-central Mexico, linking the city of Chihuahua to the Pacific Ocean. Now, the traveler may venture through lands barely explored on this shortcut to the Pacific from Mexico's north and the American Middle West. The immensity of the land itself, the variety of its people and their activities. This is Mexico's ever-changing kaleidoscope of mood and aspect. This automobile assembly plant in Mexico City is symbolic of the industrious Mexico the traveler sees. Mazatlan, one of Mexico's many bright seaside resorts, is a little-known Pacific haven for lovers of sun and ocean. Here on the Pacific, the challenge of fighting fish who battle the angler from the deeps is a major sport, as it is also in the Gulf of Mexico. On either coast, sportsmen say you're practically guaranteed a catch. Modesty is not the strong point of the fisherman, because credulity is not the strong point of his friends. Film is proof where mere words may encounter doubts. Everywhere on the face of Mexico's earth, the sequence of time seems to change before the eyes of the observer. One senses the continuity of Mexican life, going back into unplumbed recesses of time. Yucatan recalls the fabled Mayas, as the Valley of Mexico rekindles the memory of the Aztecs and the Toltecs. As the Oaxaca remembers the Zapotecs, nations wondrous in their monuments, everlasting in the memory of the traveler. The contemplation of history or simply the shuffling off of the cares of the day, the traveler in Mexico can choose what he will. On the tropic Atlantic sands of Cozumel, the tourist is rare but welcome. The hospitality is easygoing, informal. Before our gaze is the site where the Western world first planted her men and her spirit on Mexican soil. The rich town of the True Cross, or Veracruz, is Mexico's greatest port and has been such since the city was founded 4 centuries ago. Veracruz, symbolic in herself of Mexico's 36 million people, at once recalls the Mexico of many pasts amid the pulsing energy of industrious modern Mexico. Always colorful and friendly, Mexico is a growing and ever-evolving nation. In the busy reality of our days and years, there is something of the legendary in this new and ancient land, fabulous Mexico.